Welcome back to the 90 More podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. Arsenal want to pay over 100 million euros to sign Declan Rice in the summer. And personally, as an Arsenal fan, I disagree. I love Declan Rice. I think he's a very, very good player. We're going to be diving into some of his statistics and you will see why Mikel Arteta is mad, absolutely obsessed with signing him. But in my opinion, if it's going to cost more than 70 million pounds, then Arsenal should straight away walk away from that deal. I don't think Arsenal should break their transfer record over Declan Rice. We're going to have this debate on this channel now. So if you are already subscribed, hit the like button. But if you're not subscribed, hit the like button, subscribe, and in the comment section, where do you stand on this? Do you think Arsenal should go as much as they can, as strong as they can for Declan Rice, or it should have a cap, 60, 70 million, more than that, we are not buying. Now, look, I've looked at this story from a couple of sources. It's now one of the most told stories by the big, strong outlets in the UK and around the Premier League. Declan Rice is going to be a hot property in the summer. There is no question about that. Chelsea want a defensive midfielder. They do have Enzo Fernandez, but having Enzo Fernandez and Rice, that's even better. Arsenal want to replace Thomas Partey, who doesn't seem to be able to play 38 games in a campaign. Liverpool, of course, could be in there as well if Jude Bellingham doesn't sign. I mean, who doesn't want Declan Rice? But I think the priority would be Jude Bellingham. And of course, Newcastle have always made that statement signing every summer. Could it be Declan Rice this time? There is a lot of clubs interested. Now, according to what I'm hearing and according to what I'm saying, Arsenal are leading the rest to sign Declan Rice. Arsenal ahead of every club to sign Declan Rice. To be honest, in my opinion, I don't think there's so many big clubs right now that are mad and crazy over Declan Rice, especially given the fact that the price that is being quoted by West Ham is absolutely in the crazy lane, absolutely wayward. So recently, the manager David Moyes came out and said, "Look, if anyone wants to sign Decas, you've got to pay over 100 million. He is a record transfer breaker for the for the Premier League, right? So he doesn't believe this guy is in the 70s, in the 80s. He wants him to be a record transfer breaker for the Premier League. That is where we disagree, and that's where I'm on a different note, and that's where Arsenal and West Ham are on a different note. But let's first look at the player. How good is he? And is he worth at least 70 million? In my opinion, 70 million, yes. I mean, if anyone can get 70 million out of a player, that means the player is really, really good. In terms of pass completion this campaign, per 90 is completing 89.1 of his passes. 89.1. That is impressive. That is more than Thomas Partey. That is more than Moises Caicedo, the two players that I've been comparing him to. I think the only player that is completing more passes in that area should be Rodri for Manchester City, right? Because Rodri is attempting more passes than anyone and completing more passes than anyone in the Premier League. Passes attempted per 90, 61.67. That puts him in the 78th percentile, or that puts him around 78% among players who play in that area. So when you compare him to Casemiro, Partey, Caicedo, Rodri, he's around there in the 78th percentile in number of total passes attempted. Progressive passes that are driving the team into the final third or to the final third, that is 7.29. And that actually takes him to the 89th percentile. So it means Decas is very good at getting that ball and then driving it forward into those progressive lanes. Progressive carries, getting the ball and carrying it himself. I think he's so good at that. It's one of the things I love about him. That is his he's attempting 2.55 progressive carries per 90 and completing 89% of those, and that means he's in the 89th percentile as well. So when you look at his statistics, they're very good. I think the only thing where Moises Caicedo is better than him is tackles, because Moises Caicedo is attempting over four tackles per 90. Declan Rice is attempting over just 2.12 tackles per 90. But that could also be the fact that he's got Thomas Yuseka, next to him. That could be one of the reasons. Interceptions, he is completing 1.94 interceptions per 90, putting him in the 95th percentile, right? So Deckers, as a player, his numbers are amazing. His statistics are absolutely amazing. But to be honest, Martin Zubimendi has good statistics as well. Edson Alvarez at Ajax has good statistics as well. And Moises Caicedo's statistics as compared to Declan Rice are not that bad. Okay, so as a player, I think, West Ham are a little bit unlucky that his contract runs down, I think, in 2024. So they kind of have their hands tied. They have already resigned to the idea of losing him. They know he's not going to be staying, so they want to maximize revenue as much as they can. So this is the idea. West Ham know he's going to leave on a free if we don't sell him. They don't want that. They've gone... we will sell you, we'll give you the move you want come this summer, as long as there is a club that's willing to give us the amount of money we think you are worth. And that amount of money is 100 million pounds. Absolutely not. And I'm very, very sure Arsenal will not pay that much. Arsenal will not even, go above the 80s. But I think it shouldn't be above the 70s. And this is where the point of this video is. I think if Arsenal are going to do whatever they are going to do with Declan Rice, it shouldn't be above 70 million pounds. And these are my reasons. Number one, his services are very good. Very, very good. Like, to find a player who is a defensive midfielder, is kind of a box-to-box, and then he's that confident, and then he's that good, and then his selling is very high, and then his English, like homegrown, that is too much to get in one player, okay? I think, look, if he joins a club like Arsenal, he becomes the Casemiro of the Premier League. To be honest, he becomes the Casemiro of the Premier League. What a statement signing that would be. But there's so many other players that can offer us those services at a far cheaper price. Okay? Number one, Ruben Neves at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Premier League proven. He's been there for a long time. He's a leader. He's been captaining this Wolves side for quite some time. Maybe the tackling and the interception, that is where Deckers would be a bit much better. But in terms of physicality, I think Ruben Neves is lead. In terms of passing, he's lead. In terms of ball progression, he's lead. And of course, we saw him at the World Cup for Portugal. So that is player number one I would think about. Player number two, we've talked about him on this channel and on Cossy's Arsenal podcast, is Martin Zubimendi. If you're looking for a guy that can intercept well without picking up yellow cards, without causing fouls, and can easily cause those transitions in midfield, Martin Zubimendi is the player for you. So with all those players available, and they're not going to go above 60 million pounds, in my opinion, Arsenal will have made a huge mistake to pay over 80 million for Declan Rice. Statement signing, I understand, but we can make a statement signing in other positions, not in Declan Rice. Number two, and why I think this is very, very crucial for Arsenal before we sign Declan Rice, right? His contract runs down in 2024. If we did not pay 30 million for Yuri Tillemans, right? Just 30 million for Yuri Tillemans, who would have massively upgraded on our squad, especially that we've created that second, attacking midfield role, we should not pay above 70 million for Declan Rice. And I mean it, and I'm very, very serious. Like, if our message and if our strategy is we don't overpay for players, we don't overpay for players whose contracts are running down and we can get them on a free, well, Declan Rice is one of them. Yes, it's a priority, I understand, but West Ham are willing to negotiate. The only thing West Ham have in their pocket, they're hoping for a bidding war. A bidding war that I don't think will happen. A bidding war that I don't see happening in the summer. I don't think Liverpool are going to go, oh, Arsenal broke 70, we will pay 80. And then Chelsea 90, and then Man United say 100, and then another club says 150. No, it's never going to happen. All clubs have got a very good scouting networks. All clubs now understand the value of money, apart from Chelsea. The rest of the clubs, now that Manchester United have Erik ten Hag, I don't think he's going to be going around splashing the money as if, he's excited like Toddy Bolly. I don't think Liverpool are excited. I've ever been excited like Toddy Bolly has been. And I don't think Manchester City will sign Declan Rice. So I think Arsenal just have to play cool, wait through June, wait through July. And when West Ham realize, okay, no one is coming in, no one is, placing these huge bids that we were expecting, they will listen to us quite very, very closely. I'm not against him signing. I'm against him signing for 80, 90, 100 million pounds. So that is reason number 2. Reason number 3, how many clubs can afford him have UEFA Champions League? Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I'm becoming proud, aren't I? But this is what all these geezers have been doing. This is what all these clubs have been doing to us. We've been in Europa League, we've been out of Europe, and we couldn't sign a single lame player if we were in competition with Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Chelsea. Why? They've always been in Europe. They've always been in the UEFA Champions League, and we were not there. Chelsea, for crying out loud, they do have a good project, like in their minds, not on paper or even on ground. They don't even have UCL. Like, we can easily convince Deckers to come and play for us in the biggest competition in Europe. That is number 1. Liverpool is debatable. If come this summer, they have UCL, good for them. But if they don't have UCL, that is another advantage, right? West Ham trying to keep the player, don't even have UCL, right? If Arsenal had Champions League, Yuri Tillemans straight away would have joined us. He would have joined us straight away. I'm telling you this, right? So Declan Rice is going to tell West Ham, look, I would love to stay maybe. I would love to respect you, but I don't want to miss out on the chance of signing for a club in the UEFA Champions League. I don't want to miss the next final of the UEFA Champions League, because in the next 2-3 years, Arsenal's team is going to be one of those clubs that are going to be tipped as able to win the Champions League. To be honest, like this team that is has an average age of 23.9, if you give them another 2 years, they'll have an average age of 25.9. For me, they can win the UEFA Champions League or go as far as the semi-finals or the finals. Not next season. Don't get me wrong, but after next season. So for me, with all those incentives that we have, how attractive we've become, we've not become attractive to pay for players. We are a well-run club. We are an attractive club now, and that comes from the fact that we are well-run. Let the attractiveness work. I'm looking at the likes of Lautaro Martinez. I'm looking at the likes of all these other players. If we can attract that quality, right? If we can attract 2-3 quality players before Declan Rice signs, like he looks at our team, we have Gabriel Jesus, we have Martin Odegaard, but then he sees Lautaro Martinez come through the door. Then he sees maybe I don't know who we're gonna sign in the summer. It will depend on how the rumors are circulating and rotating around. But whoever comes through the door, right, will be a statement to Declan Rice that this is the place you want to be. This is the right club and this is the right project. So for me, look, no one would say they don't want Declan Rice in their team. No one would say he's not worth 50, 60 million. But for me, the price ceiling Arsenal should not go above is 70 million, right? We should be able to get these deals for 70 million. We should be able to get these deals for bargains, okay? And that's what many clubs have done. Look at Manchester United. How much they pay for Casemiro? 60 million. And look at how much it's changed that team, right? If you wanted to buy Casemiro back right now, it would go to 100 million, wouldn't it? Right? So a player's contract is running down. That's an excuse for Arsenal. You don't have UCL as West Ham. That's an excuse for Arsenal. There is no bidding war that you are hoping for. That is an excuse for Arsenal. We can get this deal done even for 60, 65 million pounds. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? Would you prefer Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo? I think Caicedo is also a very, very interesting player. I've been looking at some of his statistics here, and some of his very strong attributes include pass completion, passes attempted, interceptions, which is at 81, and then tackles, which is at 82. And of course, he's averaging 2.7 tackles per 90. You look at his interceptions, 1.49. Not at the level of Declan Rice, but you are hopeful he's going to get at that level. Still very, very young, still new to the Premier League, and has had a tremendously very, very good season. I'll see you in the next one. We'll be talking about the Manchester United takeover season